I am the Associate Director on Unexpected Twist. Associate Director comprises a lot of different jobs. In part, it's being in the room as a support to the director, doing lots of research, being a second eye in rehearsals. You're also put in charge of understudies, so if an actor's ill, there are other actors who step in and they need rehearsing into lots of different roles. So you might have an understudy who's covering 6 different roles in a show, so that's a big job. And then very practical things like being in charge of scheduling and making sure everything's running to plan. God, that's a very good question. I think it changes script to script. I definitely try to get a handle on the characters and the different arcs and where they peak, so I can understand the shape of the play and how the action needs to run. Also understanding the kind of practical necessities of what actually needs to happen on stage, so you can start thinking through where the challenges are going to be in the rehearsal process and what you're going to need to bring in to support the actors with those challenges. So it might be design solutions or directorial solutions, or so you can plan well and make the most of that 4 weeks that you've got in the room with the whole team, because you're always up against the wall. I think the thing that surprised me when I first read it is how challenging a lot of these themes are, and what I find really exciting about that is that there's nothing patronising in the way it's approaching its young audiences. It's putting really difficult things on the table for them, things that people face in their lives, and saying, look, these are how these people deal with them. How would you deal with them? And it's really approaching them as mature audience members who can engage with difficult themes, and that, I think that's brilliant. I think figuring out who you are and who you want to be and where you belong, and how all of those things feed into each other, and who the people you want to belong with are, and making those choices as you grow older and how that shapes your life. I think that journey that Shona goes on really stood out. I'm very excited about all of the musical moments and the big numbers and the moments where we kind of break out into something really theatrical and really big and really exciting. I think that will be a real challenge to stage and a real joy to stage, and I'm really looking forward to all of the talent in the room coming together to make those moments work. Yes, I think the weaving together of the Oliver Twist story with the Unexpected Twist story is going to be a really exciting challenge. The times where Oliver Twist bursts out of the walls of the school and managing to weave those two worlds together really smoothly, I think that's going to be a great challenge in the room. I think actors all work in very different ways, so the first thing I do is to figure out how an actor likes working, whether they like really detailed text work or whether they like working with their bodies more, or whether they like doing off-the-wall things like animal work, and kind of working with the toolkit that they like to use, and approaching it from where they're coming from. I think they're going to love it. It's such an exciting show, and it's so challenging in so many ways, and it brings this really well-loved text to life in a way that's completely new, and really surprising, and I think it has a lot to say about the world then and our world now and how they relate to each other, and I think it'll give people lots to talk about and lots to think about, and it'll also just be a really good time. With so much energy and life and theatricality, I think it'll be unlike many things that people have seen in the theatre before. My favourite still my favourite actually, is His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman. So Northern Lights, Subtle Knife, Amber Spyglass, I think they just really formed my view of the world. I read them several times while I was growing up, and there's always more to find in them, and more that gets revealed as you get older. And I think the best children's stories do that, is you can keep going back to them and keep finding new layers. I think Unexpected Twist does that as well. There's always more. Creative challenge set by an associate director. If you are in charge of the understudies in your play and you have one day to rehearse the entire play, which bits are you going to spend the most time on? How are you going to set that rehearsal up, and how are you going to make sure your understudies are ready to go on tonight?